Steamboat Willie is a two-dimensional Walt Disney animation created by Iwerks and closely supervised by Walt Disney in 1928. Animation with synchronized sound was almost entirely unheard of because it was incredibly challenging due to having to film all the sound effects in one take at this time. Steamboat Willie was inspired by the Steamboat Bill Jr. movie that came from the song Steamboat Bill. Steamboat Bill told the story about a steamboat pilot who died in an attempt to beat a steamboating record. Mickey's whistling the song in the opening scene of Steamboat Willie. It took the writers of Steamboat Willie only one night to complete the story. While the film was only 8 minutes long, it took the creators nearly 4 months to complete the cartoon. Contrary to the way voice acting and sound effects are done in the animation industry today, everything was recorded post-production on top of the animation. Walt Disney even hired an entire orchestra to record sound in the film. It took only 2 takes to finish the sound effects. The first attempt at recording on top of the film failed because the orchestra couldn't keep up with the animation. Geniusly, Walt added a bouncing ball to the film as a way to keep the tempo. This proved to be successful and led to very impressive synchronized film with sound. Steamboat Willie was finished in November of 1928 and the film was showcased at the Colony Theater in New York. The animation was a massive success for the Disney company. The animators created the cartoon first by sketching out all the frames by pencil on paper, and then it'd be developed in negative form, followed by being traced on the transparent celluloid sheets. Then another group of workers would paint the sheets in their color to be displayed in the animation. After all the frames were complete, they would be put into animation by capturing each frame in a picture, combining the pictures together subsequently into a short film. This was a very time-consuming process because 24 drawings were made to create just 1 second of animation, and the Disney company stuck to the same frames per second since then. After the film was complete, the final step was to synchronize the cartoon with sound, and Disney's skill in this department was unique to anyone else's at this time. In the 1920s, animation was used to make specifically short films using the traditional hand-drawn method. Steamboat Willie animation was viewed in America as a massive step toward the future of animation. While there were other very limited cartoons with synchronized sound, Steamboat Willie is significant for its seamless combination of picture and sound, just because anything else before the film was like obviously just noise on top of drawings. But the animators at Disney brought it to a whole new level, being able to entrap viewers into forgetting they were watching drawings with sound effects. Anyone who came to watch Steamboat Willie left feeling amazed, which led to the word spreading quickly. Disney and Iwerks were able to help give the Disney company a respectful name for itself and make silent animation obsolete compared to their new technology. It was reported that Steamboat Willie threw silent animation into obsolescence and launched an empire. So here's the opening clip. So to create my artifact, I had to first get pictures of every frame of the animation I planned to draw. Rather than drawing each frame of animation by hand, I just slowed down the animation on my phone and then screenshotted like every single frame. But this proved to be harder than I expected because one misclick meant I skipped a frame or I had to restart. But I still ended up printing most of the frames and began tracing over them. This way I'd be able to replicate both the tracing process and have time to put into animation. The tracing process was called blackening, and I did so by tracing the acetate sheets with a Sharpie. I had to draw multiple sheets per frame because some parts of the animation moved at different rates than others, so it was helpful because I only had to draw like the background once and the wheel I only had to draw a few times, so that was pretty convenient. Partway into the process, I realized Mickey's last 5 seconds of animation was identical to the first 5 seconds, so I was able to use the same frames twice, which ended up cutting my time with drawing Mickey in half, and had this not happened, I wouldn't have been able to finish the animation. Before beginning the process, I thought I wouldn't have to paint any of the cells like they did originally, because Mickey was black and white, so I would need to paint it. But then I soon realized that Mickey would be transparent, so that's why a part of the background can be seen through him. One thing worth noting that I realized during my process of creating Steamboat Willie was that even professional animators make many mistakes. There were some frames that animators forgot to draw Mickey's tail. I discovered that once one small mistake becomes very hard to fix if I don't catch it immediately. So, sorry. Oh, especially because I didn't have the most ideal setup, so going back to redo a frame would be hard enough just to put the camera in the same spot again. Unfortunately, I forgot to spin the wheel for part of the animation, so Mickey's just like throwing his hands up for no apparent reason. Even though there are many things I wish I could go back and fix, I have found this project to be very enjoyable and relaxing to create. It took me a long time to finally get started, but once I did, I found myself looking forward to work on my project throughout the day. So I would recommend anyone who enjoys art, even a little, to give animation a try. So here is my final animation. And then here's the animation next to the original. And that's it. Thank you. What questions are there?
What was your favorite part about like the whole cartoon?
I found like just the tracing to be super relaxing because I could just like listen to music or like watch a YouTube video or something like that. So good.
What was the actual time commitment for the tracing and shading? Like how long did it take you to make all the frames?
Total, I would say the majority is probably like close to 30-ish hours. Well, to do all the frames and then to put it all together, it took a few hours to like take all the pictures and put it into a video.
What led you to do this project?
Your mom. Miss Hockenberry, she recommended it to me, and it just stuck with me. So I thought it'd be fun. So. Another question?
Do you think that use of an AI to animate now is like non-rating tasks?
I mean, I kind of wish like this has kind of become like a lost art. I wish like sometimes they could go back to it. I do. I don't know, because AI is never the same as like an actual person doing it, and this is also just kind of a fun process to do. But you know, I guess.
So especially on this end screen, it seems like Mickey looks a little different. Was this just like a later version or like a different cartoon of
This
Mickey?
is actually the same cartoon. This is the end of it. So I don't know why they did his eyes differently, but it's just the ending of Steamboat Willie.
Would you go into animation after trying it?
I actually don't know. I used to want to do it, but now I have no idea like what I want to do. So maybe not. We'll see. You know.
Did you enjoy drawing each frame one by one, taking hours on it?
I enjoyed. It did get a little boring at first because I drew Mickey like 140 times, but you know it was fine. It was relaxing. So.
Oh yeah, how many slides did you end up with altogether?
Well, oh wait, actually no. I printed out 143 frames, so I only had to do like half. So it's probably more like 70-ish. So, oh,
How much storage did it take up your phone?
Not
Like, have pictures of it?
I just got a new phone, so I have a bunch of storage. So I don't even know. Probably.
And what's your favorite Disney character? Goofy, Mickey, Daisy, Donald Duck, whatever.
Bro, I don't even know. Mickey's like super iconic, but I don't think I could just pick one.
Goofy. Can you ever see Mickey the same way after doing this project?
Yeah. Actually, no, I like Eeyore a lot. I like Eeyore. Okay.
Wait, that's
No, it's Disney.
Okay, we're done.